Omani pimeum, omani pimeum, omani pimeum. Padma samava, padma samava, padma samava, padma samava. Om dalai lama, om dalai lama, om dalai lama. Lama tashidele, lama tashidele, lama tashidele, lama tashidele. Omani pimeum, omani pimeum, omani pimeum. Padma samava, padma samava, padma samava, padma samava. Om dalai lama, om dalai lama, om dalai lama. Lama tashidele, lama tashidele, lama tashidele, lama tashidele. Omani pimeum, omani pimeum, omani pimeum. Padma samava, padma samava, padma samava, padma samava. Om dalai lama, om dalai lama, om dalai lama. Lama tashidele, lama tashidele. Omani pimeum, omani pimeum, omani pimeum. Padma samava, padma samava, padma samava, padma samava. Om dalai lama, om dalai lama, om dalai lama. Lama tashidele, lama tashidele, lama tashidele, lama tashidele.
Thought to yourself, are we really here? I mean, are we here in the physical form or another form? Is that which we see in front of us actually occurring? Or are we connected to form a higher consciousness? ever thought to yourself, are we really here? I mean, are we here in the physical form or another form? Is that which we see in front of us actually occurring? Or are we connected to form a higher consciousness?
I'm a scat man. I'm a scat man. I'm a scat man. I'm a scat man. I'm a scat man.
Hello and welcome to Unhinged, the only program dedicated to the sounds of the underground. Tonight is, of course, Scat Chat, where literally anything might happen and already has. But before we get into that, hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of your screen, and also hit the bell icon to get notified of when we go live or when we update or upload new content. It really supports the channel, so I'll probably remind everybody about 4 more times throughout this show. We've set a goal for 1,000 subscribers. We like to aim high, and when we've got like 150,000 subscribers, we'll look back on this moment and have a good giggle. We have lost D. He's fully sick. Dave's crashed out, so to speak. And somehow we've got a special guest coming in. But before we do that, let's I have there's been so many spanners thrown in the works. Let's introduce the only guest that's here at the moment, Damo. What's happening, bro?
I almost called in sick too. I rock up and he's like, D's sick.
D's sick. He's like, can I get a tea?
That was me. I was going to get a letter from my mum. I can't make it tonight, bro.
Oh, man.
And then
You know,
everybody's making excuses because I'm here, isn't it?
To be honest, I started to think after Dave sent the picture of his car that's all smashed up.
He did it on purpose.
Yeah, I'm just like, wow. You could just message and say, hey, Damo, I just don't want to hang out with you.
And by the way, we're glad you're all right too, Dave.
Yeah, Dave.
Sort of.
No, we are. Like,
Yeah.
so for those that aren't on Dave's Facebook, he's gone and crashed his car. What a dilbit.
Look,
Yeah, but
it's lucky nobody was hurt though. So,
Yeah,
that's-
exactly.
Yeah.
Could you imagine though, like hosting a show called Scat Chat and being the only person here?
You'd embody the traditional meaning of scat. chat.
Yeah. Well, I suppose
You'd be talking to yourself, man. But anyways,
that's a pretty valid point.
yeah. Well,
So I'm gonna tell everyone who's coming in, and he's like a white knight, and he's gonna come in a bit later to save the day because God knows where our conversation can go.
I know. Well, we can always hold a good combo though.
We can.
We do all right.
Not sure if we'll talk about rave stuff really at all. We could just, well. But Jono's coming in from ESI, which is really exciting and well timed because we're going to show the interview that we did with Regain a couple of weeks ago. And actually, while I'm at it, like shout outs to D and to Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah. D was going to come in. I was like, leave your sickness at home.
Man.
I don't need that shit. And then you walked in the door and I'm like...
I'm like, yeah, mine's done and dusted, I think. So
you
past
think-
contagious stage.
Thank fuck.
I don't know if exchanging saliva is going to...
Hey?
I don't know if exchanging saliva, I'm still contagious, so...
Oh, we could probably mac
find that out
on.
later.
We could mac on in a little bit. Guys in the comments there, everyone's giving some love to Dave. We didn't come because of Damo too. Natalie, what a savage.
I'm talking you up here, and I'm like, nah, sorry, nah.
Actually, what I might do is when we have our first break, I'll give you the laptop so then you can follow along with the comments.
Yeah.
Unless you can jump on your phone, I don't care.
Yeah, I can jump on the phone.
We've got a few topics we're going to cover. We're going to cover the art of dance has been
Can I do a
brought.
quick shout out?
Yeah.
PSI ads record in the UK. Can you face War Mates? Just
Are they online?
yeah, he is.
Easy?
So we're broadcasting in the UK. He's one of the 2 people we're watching at the moment.
One of the 2. Oh,
How many we got?
we've got 20.
Have we? Hey.
Chuck a 0 on the end of that too. Yeah, we're going to talk about art of dance has been brought out by Q Dance.
Oh crap! I did not know that.
Yeah, a bit of a big one. Of course, we've got the Regain interview coming up. We're going to talk about the lockout laws, some stuff that's gone down at Beatport.
Oh really?
Actually, let's talk about that now. While
That's interesting because I'm like, you know me, my
Yeah.
finger is not on the pulse with this stuff. Like,
that's okay. That's what Scat Chat is for. Is helping keep people. Holly Jackson, Damo can't give you a shout out because he can't read the comments, but I can.
Hey Holly, shout out. Who else is it?
That was Damien. I can't pronounce his last name. It's a bit of a running joke between him and I. I think I'm not sure, but Damo called into the show last week.
Oh, is it that bloke? And then they thought it was me.
Yeah, because what happened was it was a bit of
I heard that call.
it was we're trial by fire here at Unhinged, but I'm like, all right, let's do this. And so we did the first phone call interview. And of course, I've got my headphones on so I can make sure that people's voices are coming through the microphone.
Am I?
Yeah, you're fine. I'll tell you.
I know how to project. It's been a long time, but you know.
You know your way around a microphone.
I do. In more ways than one.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay.
We might save that for the after hours segment of the show.
Sounds good. I'll let you.
Oh, by the way, we do an after hours segment.
Really?
Yeah, for the Patreon members, which we've got a few now, which is fantastic. And so after the show finishes, we'll record a bit exclusively for the Patreon, and it's called After Hours.
Right.
Hang on, where was I going?
I don't know. We were talking about Beatport.
No, before that, we were talking. I can't remember now.
Scat Chat, mate.
Beatport, right?
Yeah.
So with Beatport, they're implementing a thing where if a track hasn't been bought since it's been released, they're going to delete it. Right? So if there's a release that's been put out there, they're obviously clearing off their space.
They need to notify the person, mate.
Well, they have. They've notified everybody. Hang on. I've got a graphic here. You probably won't be able to read it. Okay. Hang on. We would like to inform you that Beatport intends to introduce a yearly storage cleanup procedure. So check this out. And it's for people who haven't bought if a track hasn't been purchased, like, since its release.
Only content released before January 2019 will be affected this time. So anybody who was pre-2019?
Yeah. So check this out, though. Have you released some tracks? I know you're writing one at the moment, but have you released any on Beatport?
We released tunes, but I don't know if they've been. Oh, they probably have. I don't know.
I've released one, right, with Splinter.
Yeah.
I bought it.
Support the cause, mate.
Well, now I know that mine's not going to get deleted because it's at least like who doesn't buy their own fucking track? It doesn't make any sense. You at least buy it once.
I can't say I've done that. Like, I don't know, but yeah, no, I appreciate the whole
Well, I think this is a business move by Beatport that have gone, right, sales aren't doing so good. We can at least get one purchase for every track that we have while that DJ buys their own track to keep their track on Beatport.
It's a very clever idea. It's, I don't know whether anyway. But I think it's also probably, they might be getting, like, they might not have realised that how much it's going to blow up, and they might their space on their server, something. Who knows?
Well, space costs money.
Yeah.
And you look at Track It Down, it doesn't even exist anymore. Like online music sales stores are not overly profitable as far as I'm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I buy a whole lot of I try and support the artist because I know what it's like.
Yeah.
Like
I buy tracks that people send me for free. That's how much I want to support.
100%.
Yeah.
Like I had, my story, my vinyl, and so I'm trying to build up my collection again. And I don't feel bad with ripping songs that I paid $20 for one mix, where people aren't going to pay $1.70 for one. So
I know.
I paid my dues. I sold them for SFA, and so I'm like, you know what? I don't feel bad.
Yeah, exactly. That's the world's changed, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's only a couple of bucks.
All right, $1.70. Support the cause, guys. Go out there and support the artists.
Although,
what happens when they start? The thing is, that's the bread and butter. Well, there's other ways now, obviously. But yeah,
you got to support the scene, but you got to. Otherwise, people stop making music.
That's right.
I must say, when I did release Shock Therapy with Splinter, like almost, literally nobody asked me for it. That really shocked me. Really? It's a bit like the first time I went to a gay bar when I come to Sydney. All right.
After hours, guys.
And like being a straight white male from country Victoria.
It would have been my opening experience.
It was. Although, like, the guys that invited me didn't tell me that it was a gay club when I walked. So I walked in and there was like a guy in a very elaborate dress, and I was like, oh, okay. Be cool.
Yeah.
And like, when I first walked in, there was that moment of kind of fear. And as I said,
how long ago was this? How long?
When I first moved to Sydney, like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Never been to a gay club before.
Yeah, right.
Didn't know what to expect. I'd heard a lot of stories, right?
Yeah.
And so I walked in. I got pretty comfortable after about 10-15 minutes. I'm like, oh, this ain't so bad. Everyone's actually really friendly. Yeah. And then about an hour later, I was like, not one person's cracked onto me.
So you were getting upset.
I was like, what? What don't I have here? And the guys I was with, who I live with...
Did you have your chaps on?
Well, I just had... No, I didn't know. No one gave me the heads up. I left my party chaps at home.
Really?
I'm like, maybe I'm just giving off straight vibes. I don't know. But no one gave it a shot the whole night. I got really cut up about it.
What would you have done, though?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
By the end of the night, I probably would have lapped it up. I was like, finally! Someone! That was interesting.
So you need, like, my banter in comparison
just
to
a bit closer.
Sorry, my banter in comparison to Dave. Dave's just on a totally different level.
Dave,
he's a yin to my yang.
Well, this is the thing I was really excited for about tonight, right? Because Dave can sometimes be a little bit too hard to control. I don't know if you've noticed.
You think, you were bringing me in as the control backer. Mate, 20 years.
You were going to be my backup.
Are you serious? Have you seen me out? If you think Dave needs to be controlled, anyway.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's for after hours.
I was going to switch to a scene that has like all of these different names that aren't going to be here, like Dave PSI. I need to get rid of this. Hang on. There we go. Oh, you're not even in that. Hang on, we're going to fix this up a sec. Anyway, so
Is
welcome.
this the part where you wanted me to drop my pants and?
Oh, okay, so you're just as bad as Dave.
I'm trying to bring Dave to the party. Hey, if he can't be here, I'm going to bring him to the party. So
Dave did say, hang on, I'll bring it back to this one. We'll wait till Jono gets here before we.
yeah.
Bet 11. Dave controls Damo. Is that true?
It's not like that. It's sort of like for 20 years, I suppose I had my 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
And then everybody else was like, I'd just be like, yeah, I got to play at a party. And then suddenly after the first gig, I was like, well, that was great. Now I've ticked my bucket list. And then it continued to happen. And I was going to work and I was like, everybody else is drinking on the weekend, so I can too. And yeah, but anyways, had a bit of fun. And
I was just getting ready to hit the dump button, like, oh, I don't know where this story is going to go.
that's another thing. Dave tells stories, I tell stories, but they go nowhere. So strap in.
Stick around, gang. we got stories that go nowhere.
Yeah.
What have you been up to? Like you've had a pretty big few. You've had some shit go on the last couple of months.
Yes, I have. I went overseas.
Like we were talking before the show started about DEF CON in Holland, and you were like, bro, have you been to DEF CON in Holland?
I have to say, okay, so everybody who asks what DEF CON 1 is like in Holland, you cannot explain it. It's something you have to explain. I said to Caleb, I'm like, I have to go experience it. And in all the years, like, I started raving a long time ago, like 1994. And I have to say, this is a feeling I've never experienced in my entire life. And just a total sense of what it is. Like, it's actually, it's part of the culture. Like, you get to the airport, you get off the plane, you're waiting at the luggage terminal, and they're advertising the dance parties coming up. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, Gladys is going to shut down the airport now. I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, I couldn't believe it. And then it was just, yeah, like I'm on group chats with people and it's coming through and I'm like, I don't know German. I don't know Dutch. So I've been communicating Google Translate with people. Yeah, it was quite...
I got a few phone calls from you and you were just like especially when you've come from Sydney, which is almost like a police state. Yeah. Like when I went to DEF CON, like it wasn't that bad, like in Sydney.
Yeah, right.
And so like you've probably gone over to DEF CON when Sydney's at possibly... in terms of like freedom and having fun,
you know
it's
how
probably
Jared
at its
and that was
worst.
saying, like, I literally, I kid you not, people go, where are you from? And I'm like, Australia. Oh, they're not having DEF CON there this year. Like in their accents, whatever. I'm not going to try and do an accent. I don't want to offend some people. And I'm like, yeah. They're going, that's that Gladys bitch. And I'm like, and then like Jared and Nat were telling me the same thing. And I'm like, fuck, I've had the same. Pardon me.
No.
All right. And
My YouTube channel's not monetized yet, so you can swear all you like.
But yeah, so everybody was just like, they knew what was going on. And then you try and explain to people what it's like over here, and they can't grasp a concept. They can't grasp a concept of being told, like, that you go into the supermarket there and they've got alcohol. They can't understand the concept of you're not allowed to buy alcohol after a certain time to take home.
Yeah.
Which you think they'd be trying to support. And then I tell them, if you want to go to a place, there is a place you can go to, but they've got poker machines going all day. All night.
The casino.
And if you want to go have a cigarette, 9 times out of 10, you'll have to go into a pokey area.
Yeah.
And then what happens is if you're in there, if you're not playing the machines, you have to get out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't smoke anymore, like 12 months non-smoker.
Oh, congratulations.
Pretty proud of it,
yeah. Hang on, I've got an applause button here.
I can't hear it. So.
No, you can't. I can.
Yeah, it was a totally amazing experience. And I've got to say, out of anything you do in your life, do it. Just do it. Like,
it's definitely really different going out overseas. Like it's you almost feel like you're let off the leash.
Yeah.
Like, I remember walking around in Europe just being like, am I allowed to do this?
Yeah.
And then like,
the food is awesome. The people are the best. Like, I have fallen in love with Holland and Netherlands and the Dutch people, and everybody would tell you this, and I will not get tired of saying this, but the Dutch people are the best people in the entire world. So
they are hyper friendly.
they're just lovely people, man.
Yeah.
And their food, oh my God. Like, since before I went over there, I've got some health problems and I'm consulting with specialists and that. And then when I came back, I was like, I'm going to be in so much trouble. I've got a specialist appointment because I've been eating so much crap. And Olivia specialist said to me, she's like, get on, we'll weigh you. And I weighed 6 kilos less than what I did before I went. And I'm like, that's impossible. I said, I've been living a really shit life over there. She said, but what did you notice?
Headspace.
Yeah. No. There's no cars. Everybody walks everywhere. So she's like, what did you do a lot of? And I'm like, Amsterdam.
Weed.
So what did Amsterdam? But no, she goes, what did you do? A lot of. And I'm like, and I said, she goes, how'd you get around? I go, walking. She goes, that's why.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
just about the exercise and that. And I was just baffled because I ate all the cheese. Phoebo, man.
Oh, did you watch last week when Jared and Natalie were on?
I did, yes. I saw.
Man, Jared just ripped into Phoebo.
I didn't see that part. Like I saw up to
what-
start of the interview.
What's the milk? What's the drink? The drink thing.
Oh, the
Talks about-
choco milk. whatever
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
And Jared's like, that's kind of like someone coming to Australia and holding up a Big M and being like, oh my God, a Big M. All the Dutch people were like, what the? It's milk, bro.
I know. And everybody's run back to Audi going, oh, I'm gonna get choco milk, bro. So, oh man.
I think Steph put up a whole bunch of statuses about. I never had it when I was over there.
Oh man.
I was-
We went there after like we'd been to the pub and then run away home, and it's like this. It's hard to explain. It's like this fast food outlet. What did you go in? And there's all these little like oven type things, and there's a little guy. Well, not a little guy. He's probably
a normal size guy.
He's probably bigger than me actually. He's Dutch, so he's probably. But yeah, and what happens? You put your €2 in, and then in the slot that you want, and then you put. And this is not the red light district, by the way. But you put the money in what you want, and then you take it out, and he quickly replaces it. We stayed. I think I spent €20. That's like $40 Australian. Just going, oh man, yeah. Yeah, but like
I've got to admit, I kind of feel bad that I didn't. Well, I've been to Amsterdam. I don't know. When people talk about food, I'm like, what the hell are you even talking about?
that's the first time I'd had. Like, I went last year. I didn't see it.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So maybe it's kind of newish even in Amsterdam. Or
I don't
in
know,
Holland.
man. But like, you've got to. If you do go, you got to do it. Like,
Did
you got to. My mate Tim over there. So, ask Nat and Jared. Ask anybody.
Yeah.
Tim is the best human being you're ever going to meet. The nicest guy, and just everybody meets him, falls in love with him. He is a local, and he shows us around everywhere. Like
I suffer from that same affliction too, by the way.
What's that?
Everyone that meets me just falls. I'm joking.
Goes without saying. Yeah, but no, it was. You got to get a local to show you around and take you to the place, because otherwise,
Well, it's the same as here. Like a local would help.
yeah.
Getting around Sydney is not exactly easy.
Yeah. It is. 100%.
Did you try and read anything in Dutch?
I got some videos of Dave and Jared. We were coming back from Zandvoort. I was trying to tell everybody, I'm like, check out Haarlem and Zandvoort, and on the way back we found a Dutch newspaper.
Yeah.
And everybody has had their jokes about it. Like, Dave's like, I bought this in English. And he goes like this. It's all scrambled now. And it's like, and Jared's like, man, dyslexia is hard. And it was like, it was a funny train ride home. I got to tell you that much.
I remember when I went to Amsterdam and the hotel that we stayed at, it had a pillow menu.
Yeah, right.
And for starters, that blew me away on its own. So a pillow menu. It was a menu of pillows. So you, like had like 4 different types of pillow, and you could ring room service, and they'd bring that specific pillow up to you.
Are these like your proper U-shaped pillows?
No,
like
just
your body type.
No, I think it was a standard pillow, but like one was like firm, one was really soft, and you know,
right.
people have different. Like apparently, I'm not
Different, yeah.
I'm not all yuppity with my pillow menu. But I'm like looking at the menu. I couldn't even like if I had to ring reception, I wouldn't have been able to pronounce a single word. I'm just like, how do you pronounce 3 A's? Doesn't make any sense.
I have to tell you, I was in. Was it no? I think it was Amsterdam, and I couldn't read the toilet sign, and I'm there at the
no way.
I'm busting a go, and I'm like, is this the ladies or the men's room? Google Translate, help me now, or else.
I'd be like, it's a 50-50 chance.
What's the worst that's going to happen?
I like those odds. Yeah. I'm a gambling man. Oh, dear.
I did it. Oh, yeah.
Frugal, did you drink any of that?
Oh,
Did I drink any of that, he
mate.
says?
Flugel.
Flugel.
Needs to come to
What did I
Australia.
say? Did I say frugal?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever.
It's Flugel, and it is. If you go there and you come home and you've never had Flugel, then don't come home.
I didn't.
It's a staple over there.
That's another thing I didn't drink while I was over there.
Man, at DEF CON,
Yeah.
you'd have Flugel. Like, they'd have Flugel and Red Bull. And then before we were going, everybody's like, you can take so much alcohol to the party, so run to the convenience stores and come back with all the boxes of Flugel they had.
Oh, fair dinkum.
Yeah, but it got drunk by they come in tiny little
Yeah, I've seen them.
Man, it's like you can't. It's that's another thing Australia needs.
Flugel.
You had me at Flugel.
I'd just be happy to walk into a nightclub after 1:30. Like,
Oh man!
let's set the bar a little bit lower.
So we on the Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I don't even. I was just following everybody else.
Yeah.
And I ended up at the front of this queue for this club, and I didn't know we were going to this club. Like they probably told me, but I was just.
Being Damo.
Yeah, being Damo. Not paying attention. Just, I'll follow you guys.
Too busy FaceTiming Caleb talking about that.
We had good chat. But and I get to the front door and there's people getting escorted out, and I'm like, I've had a few beers. If this was back home. Anyway, I walk up to the guy. I go, look, I don't have any ID, mate. I'm like, you can just let me go like those people. I'm like, I don't know, what is this? And he goes, it's a nightclub. He goes, come here. I said, I got a photo of my passport. He goes, you go in. And I think he let me in because I just didn't care. I get inside, there's 1,500. It was like home nightclub on a Friday night, on a Tuesday with techno.
Yeah, right on.
And I was like, yeah. And it was free. I like, where do we pay? Oh no, this is it. Insane, man.
What a life.
Ah,
See, when I always get anxiety when I walk into a nightclub in Sydney. Because there's a question that security guards ask that I never know the answer to, ever.
say your date of birth.
No, they do this. How many have you had tonight? And I'm like, what the fuck is
That's
the
a very general question.
But what-
I had 2 Big Macs, a large fries, I upsized, and I had a shake. Whee!
But like, what is the right answer? Like,
There is, like, how many have you had?
Right, how many beers, right? Because they're trying to determine if you're...
Everybody's got different tolerance as well.
Yeah, but think about
So-
it. If you say 1, no one's going to believe that, right?
No.
If you say 3,
Then they're like, oh.
then you run the risk of not being let in.
I know. And then you go, it's like being pulled over by the cops. How many have you had today, sir?
Yeah.
When was your last drink?
Yeah, but at least they've got a device that can actually test it. Like,
It's just, yeah.
I remember going to a home nightclub with Andrew once, and and Andrew drove, and he was
Andrew who?
like folk.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Because there's a few Andrews. So.
There's a few kicking around,
Shout out, folk.
and
He's in Mexico at the moment.
yeah, no, he's gallivanting all around the country, all around the world. Anyway, he gets to the front door, and the security guard did exactly the same thing. He's like, "How much have you had to drink tonight?" And Andrew just goes, "None. I'm the driver." And he goes, "Right, but how much have you had to drink?" And he goes, "None. Like, I could blow 000." And he goes, "Oh, your eyes look a bit wobbly." Anyway, so the security guard told him to go to McDonald's to have a cheeseburger and come back in 20 minutes. That's what we had to do to get back in.
That's, yeah. Like, if we told that to somebody over here, like overseas, they wouldn't
They wouldn't be able to wrap their head around
They
that.
couldn't. No.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
But listen, like, there's light at the end of the tunnel for Sydney. It feels like.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Have you been keeping up to date with that over the week?
I've been looking at things like I've actually, while I'm not involved anymore, I've kept an interest in that. No, obviously not to the extent that you have, and other people are involved. So
Yeah, my work does suffer for me having to keep up.
yeah.
My boss walks in and is like, "You on Facebook again?"
Yes, I'm working.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking up porn. Leave me alone. Like, he'd probably be like, "Oh, it's okay then. I'll come back later."
I'm pretty sure my boss would just close the door and be like, I'll leave you to it then. Just making sure it wasn't Facebook. Erin, who became a Patreon member last week, my boss. Thank you very much.
Hey.
Shout outs to her. Yeah, she's a good boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've asked her to come on the show.
Chick met downstairs or no?
No, that was Anita.
All right.
She works here.
Yeah, right.
She's all right.
She seemed quite nice.
She can be.
She's having a conversation with me about tea in the kitchen.
Oh, she loves tea, man.
Yeah, she asked me if I was
Actually,
rich, and
for the people watching at home, the first thing Damo said to me when he came tonight, I'm like, "Do you want a beer?" He's like, "Do you have tea?" It's like, who are you?
shocker horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It's cold.
That's what happens when you're sick, though.
Yeah.
See, I could be so sick, and I will not drink tea.
Yeah.
Ironically, on a scat day.
The pinky in the air.
Yeah. I don't even think I own any cups you could do that with.
Really?
Just mugs.
You can always, mate. That's the one I was drinking out of before.
Yeah. Try and do that with.
Oh, you win.
Yeah.
Don't give up. I don't have any patience. That's why I don't know how you do this show, man. I'm looking at him, he's like, show me everything's done. I'm like, I don't have that patience for that.
Yeah.
I'm like, hat off to you, bro.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do a quick little break. Just so I can give you a computer so you can have a look at the comments, because there's people giving you all sorts of grief in there.
Yep.
Yeah, heaps of shit.
Like that's basically what people do to me.
Yeah.
So I got my toilet paper ready to go. Wipe it out of the way.
For those watching at home, we're going to be back. It's only a little quick break, just so I can set Damo up and he can get all interactive with you. All right, be right back. Oh, yeah, that was too quick.
That was a quick break.
How cute is that little kid, though?
Oh, man, I love that. As soon as that video came up, I'm like, it's a smile on your face, eh?
Whenever I do a little video for an ad, I just sort of leave it in there as a backup in case I ever need to, like, refer back to it.
Yep.
And I think that probably will stay there for a little while.
I like it.
I'm a fan.
I'm trying to get these comments up.
Hang on, pass it over. What we'll do is I'll put you on screen and tell a story.
Oh. I was just throwing me under the bus.
Just thought I'd dump you in it.
Hi, guys. This ain't play school, but yeah, I'll go on about my little holiday that I had. So I met some friends in the UK, one of, and then met his other friends, Mr. Rob IYF. I have to say, his crew is very, very tight.
He seems pretty loose.
Yeah. His whole crew's pretty loose. Shout out to all of them. Like, oh man, there was Broxy, there was Ben Defat. Shout out to Rico, Pierce, who's already got a shout out. Man, who else? Scotty, Laggy. Oh man, I don't want to start naming names because I'm going to forget people, so it's going to be really embarrassing. Broxy's Mrs. Kell as well. Like, man, that party Forbidden party.
What's Forbidden?
That was it's a UK hardcore party. The Rico and Ben Defect put on over in
Was that in the UK? Oh.
Yeah, so I didn't book stuff till 4 weeks before.
Classic.
Dave was like, I'm going over, like, should come. And I'm like, DEFCON. He's like, yeah. And so I ended up going ahead of him and staying with Rob. And yeah, by about the second, third night, I was like, oh, guys, I've got to tone it down. So yeah, but no, it worked out. It worked out all right. And
You got into the studio with Rob too, didn't you?
yeah, so it wasn't planned. It was just sort of, we were sitting there and I'm like, what do you want to do? He goes, you want to work on a tune? And I'm like, yeah. I said, got stuff on the USB. I said, got that vocal I sent through before I stopped.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do that. And the funny thing was, Dave had these itineraries set out that he was going to be in the studio. He had like this many days. And I rocked up going,
Did you cock block him?
it wasn't my fault, man. It wasn't my fault. I got in there and then, it's been about 3 days and we got working on something. It's still a lot of work to go, but yeah, it's shaping up nicely. But yeah,
Who's Baz? Get in the chat there.
oh, here we go.
Who's Baz? Is that your mate?
Me and Rico. Oh, sorry. Adzi.
Did you do a gaff?
Mate, I have to apologise. I thought it was Rick and Ben that put it on. Oh, dude. So it was Rico and Rico that put it on. So I do apologise. I'm just not.
Sorry, Rico.
Yeah, sorry, ads. Have a day off, mate. It's all right. He's gonna have a cry about it now.
Ben 11 wants to know, like, is this track going to get released? Is it ready? Is it ready to go?
No. No.
Did you actually do anything good in the studio, or did you just fuck
did.
around?
I think it'll be good once it's done. So
Rob's a bit of a genius in the production side of things.
He's underrated, like not underrated, because we all appreciate what he does, and he is well up there. He should I was standing there at DEF CON, and I'm like, mate, you should be up on that stage, like hard. He's next level.
When he came in here and did the interview with Jared for the kick on, he did drink a bottle of Jaeger. Pretty solidly.
You know, this is the thing I don't get right. So, bloody Rob.
Like just during the show. Just in the show.
Jaeger's his thing. And I had to bring him a bottle of Agua.
Yeah.
Because he can't get that over there. I don't know why. Because it's actually from...
Isn't it from Holland?
Dutch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we got it over here. And I didn't have it at duty free either.
Yeah, but we get the watered down version of it.
Ah.
Yeah, it's different here than what it is over in...
Is it?
Yeah, it's stronger over there, mate.
All right. Everything's stronger over there.
Now, this is true. And they have, 47 different versions of pancakes in Holland.
I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me. Like
Pancakes are like pizza over there.
Oh, man. Their food is so unique too. But anyway, getting back to Rob.
Yeah, Rob. Not bad.
We go to have breakfast, and then he'd be like, oh, what are we going to eat next? I'm like, dude, you got diabetes. And he's filling up on, we go to the lolly shop, and he's eating all these lollies and that, and then he's like, all right. I'm like, thought you were sick.
Yeah. No, he'll just go blind.
Yeah. Oh, well. As long as he can still hear, he can still write his tunes.
Yeah, that's it. He's having a good time. And he got pretty sunburned over there in
Okay, Alex has said true. I remember Rob sculled out Agua is watered down here. Well, that confirms yours. Shout out to Alex.
Hi, Alex. Hang on, what was I meant to do more with that?
No, I was reading. I was trying to have a look at the comments. Like,
it's surprisingly. This is one thing you'll learn about this being in this studio. It's actually really hard to read people's comments and talk at the same time. Like, no one ever does it. Well, think about it. When you're like scrolling through Facebook or whatever and the missus starts talking to you, what do? You either stop what you're doing here and listen, right? Or you just don't listen and keep doing what you're doing. But here you have to... Anyway.
Sorry, Jess, the latter. I love you, sweetheart.
So one of the reasons I was really excited to have you in here is a conversation that we had like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, okay, you can.
At the time, I'll give people a bit of the backstory. At the time, we knew each other. We were friends on Facebook, but we never really spoken. And if we had, you were just too blind to it.
or we were just like, hey, how's it going, sort of thing. It was sort of like, Caleb's a bit like me, where it's like, I don't know you, so and like
it's true. If I don't know someone, like I'm really shy. Like, not like Natalie, like Scatterlie level of shy, but I'm somewhere in there. So if I don't know anyone, I just feel sort of like I shouldn't be there. It's real weird. My headspace gets funny. So Damo and I had never really spoken.
I think it's because do you know what? As much as I seem extroverted, I'm actually very introverted.
Yeah,
and it's like I have trouble with having conversations with people who I don't know, which I know this sounds really strange, guys, but...
Because you're an MC and you jump on the stage and...
But the thing with that is, it's not personal.
Exactly, yeah.
And people go, how come you can't talk to people on the ground, but you can get up there in front of, like, how many thousand? And I'm like, it's not personal.
Yeah.
I'm just getting up there and... Yeah.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it is.
So I think I just started Unhinged. Unhinged had been going on for, like, a matter of months. And you bailed me up at DEF CON. I'm pretty sure, was it the green stage or
we were
was
out
it?
in that, no, it was the local stage, it was the purple stage.
Yeah, it was the up and coming stage.
Yeah, because I remember, who was the happy hardcore guy that played? That was... Jorgo? Jorgo.
Yeah.
And he smashed it, man. That was probably... I'm not taken away from anybody that day, but I have to say, Jorgo, you had me dancing, mate. So, yeah, it was a good set.
Yeah,
but anyway.
You're a happy hard guy, though. That's...
Man, I'm
so much bias here.
Oh, no.
I was there for Radars, for Riley.
Oh, yeah.
I love that guy.
Yep.
Anyway, so like we ended up talking at that stage for about 2 hours. Might not have been that long.
No, it wasn't. We were there
but it was for
quite some
ages.
Time. Yeah.
And all we were talking about was the show and everything like that. And I was at that point, I was still kind of like, don't know how this is going to go and whatever. And like, I sometimes have like, I don't like to be in an echo chamber. So like the people I was talking to about Unhinged were like connected to it, like Luke, the guys I live with, or the people I work with. They're like, this is really cool and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know when your friends tell you like all this positive stuff and you're like,
you had a great set and you double beat it the whole way. The worst I hate is when you have a shit set, you know, shit set, somebody comes up and they go, that was sick. And it's like, what room are you in?
But you were one of the first people to like have like a fully deep conversation with me about Unhinged and all that sort of stuff. And because we weren't friends and I had really nothing to offer you, right?
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this guy means what the fuck he's saying.
I didn't care. Been out for about 12 months.
He doesn't care if he's like, he's not, and like, even though all the people in my echo chamber were most likely being quite genuine, like it's better to have that third party that not connected to you to go, right, this is what I think of it. These are the things that I think you should do. And I try to implement like heaps of them. Like, you've actually done you've been more, influential in this program.
I didn't even know that, man. I was just there going, you're doing a good thing, man. Like, you just gotta be careful of this, careful of that.
Yeah.
And like, it was just more... See, I've always had a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
And I've always worked in the corporate world. So
Yeah,
I always look at... I look at the logistical side, the administrative side. I don't look at all the flash and the... It's all like... It like for me, it was a really good recipe, and it's still evolving.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is that I find you're very leveled. I'm not trying to. This is going to get to. Do you love music? Damo gives. No, it's all right.
Got some spooky stuff here.
You missed the spot. It's a bit moments past, but we share that moment. But yeah, no, it was just the concept that you had was really interesting, and it actually took me back to when. This is showing my age, but 1997.
Yeah.
They used to have, before they had digital TV, back in murder, but they had community, it was almost like pirate TV. They had this community station called 31.
It still exists.
Does it?
Yeah.
well, these guys used to do a dance party thing, but they do it on a Friday night.
Yeah.
And it was sort of a bit, you'd be out on a Friday night, so the timing is like, but if I had, like, I'd come home and I'd put it on, and it was awesome. But
Yeah.
it didn't go that long. But yeah, and that sort of, when I heard of the concept, I was like, nobody's really, for what you explained to me, nobody was doing anything like that. And yeah.
Well, maybe Unhinged sort of come about because I did a little bit with Beats FM when the radio station up at Chatswood.
Yep.
And I did a little bit for Le Clubs, and Le Clubs was a program on Channel 31. Channel 31?
Right.
And Luke Davids got me onto that because he was a host of Le Clubs.
Okay.
So I just mished those two experiences together and came up with Unhinged, I guess.
That's insane. But that's it, man. Like,
I did an interview on Le Clubs with the guys from Voodoo, so Tommy, Nick, and Simon.
Simon, yeah.
Never seen it.
Really?
I think it aired, and like I didn't have. I don't watch a lot of TV, and I certainly don't
You couldn't
watch
put the
shows.
VHS in to record it.
Well,
Set the timer.
this was only like about 4 or 5 years ago, and like the clubs were regularly putting things out on their YouTube channel, and I'm like, I'll just watch it on YouTube, and it just never appeared. And I'm like, I wonder if that interview ever turned out okay.
They probably have access to it.
I don't really care.
Like, just a thought. It just
I did then. I was like, I was on TV.
now you got your own show.
And now I've got no. Now, well, yeah, it's kind of like how I couldn't get a DJ set, so I just started putting on parties.
You seen that meme? Failed DJs who were promoters.
Yeah, well, there's an.
What does that make me? Does that make me a promoter?
No, because you were an artist before you were a promoter, weren't you? You were on the mic before you started putting events on. Well, you earned your right.
Nah, man, the mic thing just happened. Like, it was sort of.
How did you get into MCing?
This is like a really, really, really long story. Well, actually, no, it's not. I can.
Don't worry about it then.
How long have you got? No, so back in the day, I went in this. I was just doing house parties and stuff with taking my turntables around with my records. They're the big black things for those. And anyway, that sounded a bit.
That did sound a bit. Oh, how's your father?
12 inches. Round.
We're talking about records for those that are just tuned in.
Yeah, 12 inches of vinyl.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
And like and share. So Dave heard me in this DJ comp, and he was in the same one, and so was Anch, so Cutie.
Yep.
And I was.
Who just got announced for Fantasia, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
Go Anch. Like, everybody's going to be stoked for that set, so I'm really awesome. Good on her. But Dave it was around the time of the Olympics, and I wasn't actually going to play Happy Hour. I knew Ange before this.
What a time to be in Sydney.
Mate. That was insane. Like, Dave saw me, and being a guy who wanted to put on a party, he's like, oh, this guy's got people dancing to his set. If I bill him, he'll bring people to come.
That makes sense. That's how it works.
Anyway, I get this random call. Is that Destiny? And I thought it was my mate's taking the piss. I'm like, oh, good one, dickhead. He goes, no, I want to book you for a gig. I'm like, yeah, fuck, dude. I'm like, he goes, no, I do. And I'm like, okay, talk to me. And I go, who have you got playing? He goes, oh, I got Chester, I got Shade. So they were names back in the day. And anyway, I go, what time do you want to put me on? And he goes, what time do you want? Do you want 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning? And I'm like, this guy's off his tree. And I'm like, 1 o'clock? Yeah, no worries, man. I'm like, this guy's really not good. Like, anyway.
Yep.
So first party Dave did was in this tiny little warehouse in Marrickville. Call up on the night, you get your... Oh, no, maybe he did advertise video. I don't know. Anyway. And he hands me the mic. And I didn't know Dave. And he goes, can you get them G'd up? Oh, what are you talking about, man? I don't know anything about a mic. And so we're up on this balcony area.
Yeah.
And where the DJ was set up. And there was like... where the DJ thing was, you couldn't see past that. So if I was standing up, everybody could see me. But I was like, and so I'm hiding. I'm like, everybody make some noise. Hardcore. And then Dave's like, I want to bill you as an MC for the next party. I'm like, all right. And my whole repertoire consisted of 1, 2, 3, 4, hardcore, make some noise, and that went for about 10 hours. And I remember at one of the parties, Shay just pulled the mic on me, and I was like, yeah. And then I heard a tape of Slam and Vinyl. It was Charlie B, MC Charlie B, and DJ Sly, and then I'm like, oh, he raps. I write poetry. I can do that. And then I started copying his raps to start off with because I didn't know any better.
Yeah, of course.
And then, I learned about freestyling and there was like Aaron was, Losty was doing the parties, but he was hosting.
Yeah.
And it was just sort of more intros and outros. And we didn't have MCs like they do in the UK. Like you have an MC per set. Sometimes you have 2 per set. And sometimes people go for them over the DJs.
It's a different world over in the UK.
Mate, I couldn't believe it. And I was like, you guys need to come over and work in Australia and work a whole stage by yourself all day, all night. And it's like, yeah. So anyway, it was, yeah, I ended up, that's how it sort of evolved. And Dave came to me and said about the Team Rocket thing as well. He was like, it was sort of coming up with a new idea. And his kids were into Pokemon, and he goes, there's 3 people who going to Team Rocket. And I'm like, I'm not being called that. Nobody's going to come watch that. I had to eat my hat. So, yeah, but that's how that unfolded.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's
But it was, I had nothing to go by. I was going off what was in the UK. And there was D-Tech as well, who'd come down from Queensland. And there was between him, me and Losty. And then D came on the scene as well. And but primarily it was, I suppose, it was Aaron doing all the big events. Yep. And then I was sort of in there as well. Yeah. And and that sort of...
I would never give someone I barely knew a microphone at one of my events.
Dave.
What insanity.
It's Dave. And then he kept calling me all the time, and I'm like, what? Doesn't this guy have any friends? And then afterwards, we just, I don't know, we became
friends.
Mates.
Did you not like him at the beginning?
No, Dave and I sort of hit it off from the start. I just thought, why is this guy calling me about his events? I don't know SFA. Yeah. I'll get involved. I thought that was getting my first and only set. But yeah, anyway, so that's how the MCing thing happened.
Yeah, right.
I just started watching what other people were doing, and actually did it for drum and bass, did it for... I remember Jason Sway called me ages ago, and I'd already gone down to Campbelltown for Mickey D to do High Energy. Yeah. He's like, you're an MC, I need you to MC for me. I went down to Campbelltown, and it bombed hard. It was High Energy, and I'm like, it wasn't a good fit. Yeah. And then Jason's like, Joe needs an MC. And I'm like, dude, no. I said, what sort of music? And he goes, it's like High Energy. So I go, it doesn't work. He goes, no, just to please. And I think Jace called me a few times. And this is when, like, it was a small gig that was going on. It was at Bay 33 or something. It was when the Cross was pumping, and they had Asian nights. Yeah. So I rock up, and Joe's like, here's Mike. And it's getting to a really good spot. And I'm like, you've got to, if you're going to MC, you have to repeat yourself, because they don't hear you when you go, I'll make some noise. Yeah. If you go, make some noise, everybody's not focused on what's going on.
Everyone goes, what did he just say?
So what you need to do is get their attention again. And I did it 2 or 3 times, and nobody was doing anything. I turned to Joe, I'm like, what's going on? And he goes, I don't speak English. And I'm like, what do you got me here for? But but it was good times. Nah, it was I did a whole lot of different stuff though. Like I love the drum and bass. Yeah. Breakbeat, trance.
See, I don't really
and they're all different as well. You have to adapt your style.
Oh, for sure.
And like doing hip hop is totally different to doing that as well.
Speaking of like MC and music that doesn't fit, like hard house, for example, right? Yep. Not a very MC friendly genre of music. And then Jared did it for one of my sets up in Brisbane. I was like, that was sick.
Jared knows what he's doing, though. Jared's seasoned. Like, Jared can jump on anything, and he could jump on a turd and make it sound.
He really can. I remember that same set, actually. I pulled him, like, when I was mixing, and I'm like, bro.
Oh, D. What did he say? I want to rewind this part. Are you watching, mate? I heard you're fully sick, bro. I don't know which part it was.
What are we going to rewind? I don't know. But anyway, I said to I'll let you just read the comments there. I said to Jared, I'm like, I'm about to butcher this mix. Like, I just left it too late, and it was just not going to end
Perfect
well.
for the MC to come in.
And I'm like, I need you to save me.
I want you.
Save me.
That's what we found as well.
Yeah.
Like between Dave and I, and Andrew, when we were doing Team Rocket, if like this is the thing, people go, you say to me, do you plan your sets? And what, you can't plan your sets. You don't know what the other person's played before you. Number of times I'd rock up to a gig and Andrew'd be on before. I used to hate going in when Andrew was playing before me, and she'd hate going in if I was playing before her, because we always played the same sort of songs. And I'd be there going through my record box. And back then it was like you had a limited number of records, and if your records went through, say you had 10 records left to play, you're screwed. So but like at that point in time, the MCing was good to save us if we.
Oh man, it's so good. It's such a good fallback. I'm like,
but I know where I was going with that. See, we found that also if something's not working, you don't keep going down the same thing. You're not there for yourself. People are there to enjoy themselves,
to be entertained.
And so that's what your job is. And if the people aren't dancing, you're not doing the right thing. So you need to make sure you're doing the right thing for them.
For sure.
We used to cop it a lot because we play a lot of anthems. But, yeah.
Just so you know, D, I'm going to put on the Regain interview after Jono gets here. Jono's going to come into the studio and have a chinwag.
D fully.
He did a really good job at this interview, I got to say.
Oh yeah.
So we're in the process of securing some big artists to come into the Unhinged studio. Or not into the Unhinged studio. We're going to do a lot of pre-recorded interviews. Yeah. And so that was our first go at it. And like I wasn't even there. And D and Luke just bloody nailed it.
You know, you can trust those two. So
yeah, D's a bit like you.
He's seasoned.
Can talk.
You know what the thing is? It's really hard to actually do an interview. And what people don't realise is you can like this is a lot of free chat now, and I'm sort of sitting here going, where is this going to go? Is it going to go? But to do it, you have to have your research done.
Do you know I've done no research or preparation for this show whatsoever? Do you know what
that basically sums up me? So you've done all the preparation you need, mate. So.
I did that last week as well because I had the rehab a massive event on last week. I just didn't have time to write the show. But do you know what I'm liking about this right now? I'm feeling very Joe Rogan-ish.
Joe Rogan, yes.
Right?
Oh, man, he's the best.
Because like we literally have nothing written down. We're just, hey.
Did you see his Ted Nugent interview?
No.
Oh,
is that just?
It's actually probably a bit controversial. It's about vegans. So.
I probably skipped over that. Shit.
Nah, it's actually really interesting.
Because are you a vegetarian?
Nah, I was. I
had it in my head you were.
I was. Yeah. I was going down for health reasons, and then when I got to Holland, and I found out that I was actually it made me. I sort of went back on the meat train.
This guy. Hang on. I'll get some applause going.
Hey, man. Good. I got lost. I was doing circles around the.
Oh, that's why I sent you a message.
Donuts.
I'm like, I wonder if he just doesn't know where we are.
And then I had to look out for the signs. I was like looking for A4. I was like,
oh, man.
B2, B3.
I walked around for God knows how long.
You've been here before.
I have no excuse.
Do you know what? I've started like chopping up. Remember when you came in for an interview, like into the show?
That was like a year ago now.
I'm going to release it on YouTube. I've been chopping up the good bits.
Ooh.
It's a pretty quick video. Welcome.
Hi.
We've been holding the fort down here for a solid hour. We've been nailing this, by the way, man.
I don't know. Okay, so I basically ruined your other two main stage hosts. They found out I was coming.
Yeah, just bailed. Look at Jono. Jono answers the call.
Mate, that is solid. That's a stellar effort right there.
It's actually funny because when we were chatting, I was on the train and you said, as soon as you said what's your phone number? I was like, oh, this is going to be really bad on the train. I'm going to be one of those people that Jared hates so much that he plays that loud music right in their heads. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do this on the train. And I was like, maybe I should just go in. Like, I'm not doing anything tonight. And then you were like, oh, do you want to come in? And I was like, yeah.
I'm like,
Here's how long it'll take me.
This is way easier than like doing a phone call. You've probably had to drive like 1,000,000 miles to be
That's
here.
right. It's actually more confusing than it was other times.
Right.
They're trying to fix stuff. I can see. Yeah. I'll just.
Mate, you've had a big announcements over the last couple of days. What's going on for those?
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. It's been really crazy.
Hang on, I'm gonna get some artwork to put on the screen. Yeah, what's going on? You've been announcing your new event. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so the concept for this, because I didn't want to do a really big sort of 10-year party because we did have a bit of a break there for a while. So I still wanted to sort of celebrate the 10 years without doing the 10 years because it doesn't really...
Is it 10 years for ESI?
Yeah.
10 years?
Yeah. So we did the
That's
forest.
a decade.
Yeah, we
goes so
started with the
quickly,
forest. Yeah, and it's actually really funny because we started at Herman's. So we started at Herman's, and then when we came back, we went to Herman's. So
I
it was
love that venue. I've got to say, like,
such a
hands
cool
down.
venue. I wanted to sort of spice it up with a bit of old and a bit of new. And
Hang on, is that the university?
Yeah, that's the one over at Manning, is it? No.
Herman's Bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Herman's Bar's the kind of shitty one. It's where 170 used to be, right? Is that right?
Small one. Yeah, it's about
Yeah.
300 max cap
A lot
with
of
the
people-
courtyard.
I love that venue too.
I love it, man.
I haven't been to a party there in so long.
They stripped the system out though.
They went.
Yeah, they turned it into like a stand-up sort of comic venue.
Well,
thing.
that's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Thank you, Gladys.
So to be fair, I did do an event there. I played an event at Manning during the day, and we got told to turn it down because the uni students were studying. And I'm like,
You're joking.
it's Saturday.
When we had daylight, we had the police commissioner from Newtown come down with all his... Yeah, and he was like muscling to try. We actually had the sound tech out there with the volume
Monitor.
Yeah, and just saying it's fine out here. And he's like, if I have to come back down here, I'm going to shut it down. I'm like, there's 100 people here. Like, calm down, mate. You're really that bored?
Oh dear.
Yes.
Hey,
Talking about this back in the
2014 things.
Yeah. So tell us more about ESI. I've got a graphic here of your main guy. Can I put that up yet?
Which one? There's 3.
Killshot.
Oh yeah. That's out. That's
Yeah, I knew it was
crazy.
out.
Yep.
Hey.
So who is Killshot for those that don't know?
He's one of the biggest rising stars, I would say, of End of Line. It's the same record label as Delete and Warface. He made a real big impact, not only for the Sydney Crown, but for me personally, when he played in November at the Warface show that they had at Edmore. I knew his tracks.
Struck a chord, did it?
I was not waiting for that sort of mix. Like, there was just so many cheeky mashups and like really tight mixing, and he just really had the crowd in the palm of his hand. I'm like, cool. Noted. No doubt.
Is this event sold out yet?
Very close to it.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Man, congratulations.
Good on you,
Yeah,
man.
it's pretty crazy. It's a bit of a smaller venue because we're going to Universal for a one-off party.
Yeah.
And then, well,
And who else is playing? Killshot.
Killshot, Neroz, and
Vazard, yeah.
are the headliners.
Man, that's exciting.
Yeah, it is really, really cool. And we've got a really good whack of locals lined up for it as well, including a farewell set, another interstate act, and a few more.
Farewell set.
You're right. We know that's.
Won't be me.
It'll be a John Farnham anyway. They usually are, aren't they?
No, I
Like, look at who's that UK hardcore DJ Searle? How many going away sets did he have? I think he's still doing them too.
I don't know. Ooh. Yeah,
This is my last set.
I still say cereal.
Don't tell his fans that. Crystal, he doesn't mean it.
So I'm going to try and segue into the Regain interview.
Yeah, sick.
Tell us about the Regain event.
That was a year in the making.
Was it really?
Yeah, no joke. Like, when I booked Neroz, because Neroz and Regain are on the same label, I work really closely with the agency, and after the success of the first Raw as Fuck, I was like, I want Regain for next year. And he's like, oh, that's actually good timing because he has an album due in May. And I'm like, lock that shit in. Like,
Wow.
yeah, so it was actually, a year out. It was a big year of planning. I will be completely honest, a few months out from the event, I was really starting to feel the pressure and I just, like, it was sold out, everything's done, and I was in a really weird state of mind. But when I was in the crowd during Regain's set and just looking around, I'm like, this is why I do it.
Yeah.
It actually just reminded me exactly why I run parties. I'm like, just want to make a whole bunch of people real happy, really happy.
Do you know, it's funny.
That's why your party is going to sell out.
Yeah.
Because it's all about what comes from in here.
Yeah, exactly right.
Resonates out there. And so that's what I mean. Like, I'm out of the scene, but I've got my finger on the pulse sort of, and I know you've grown like immensely, and well, juice to you, man. Like seriously, Josie's just said hey, and she's like killing it, Jono.
Yeah.
Nat's gone serial best.
She was the one that caught me out of it because I was like, we were talking about him and I said cereal and she went, what? And then, she won't let me live it down now. I'm just embracing it.
If I can be frank, I remember when I first moved to Sydney and let me be frank. Hi, I'm Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Dad joke. Couldn't help it. It just came out.
Oh, mate, Dave, he's
There's kids out there somewhere.
My first experience of your parties weren't that busy.
No.
Like they were
Not at all.
like my parties.
Man, I was doing parties with Delete booked in 2011 for 15 people.
Yeah. Craziness.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And like
And it was the same music.
Yeah.
It's just timing.
Yeah.
And everyone seems to have just latched
I
onto
think
it now. Like,
timing and perseverance. Like, it's funny you were saying that about putting parties on. Like, we just did Hard Dance Icons with Massive last week.
Yeah.
And you can ask my missus. I was like, it's the last fucking party I'm putting on. This is too stressful. Like, exactly the same thing happened. I'm standing there on the dance floor, just going,
yeah, this is it.
This is
Yeah.
This is why I deal with this shit.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
Like I'm just, if you look close, I'm going bald. I got grey hairs everywhere. I blame parties. I blame putting them on.
Fair.
Regain looks like a child. Probably the nicest fucking dude I've ever seen in my entire life.
And he's just so brutally honest without being
Offensive.
Yeah. Like
all the good bits of Riddle, Jared.
Okay, so D's gone. What about GPF? I don't know whether that was.
Oh yeah, they got announced Tuesday.
Yeah.
What's today? So Wednesday, Tuesday.
Sorry, did I just throw something in there that?
No, I think they might be chatting in the comments. I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah,
it's hard to follow.
I'm
But
saying,
GPF getting because they played not long ago too. Well, hardcore.
GPF, I think it was. It was a few months. It was over 6 months ago.
Sorry, John. I didn't mean to.
No, go nuts. It's Scat Chat. Anything goes.
Yeah. He knows what's going on.
Back to John.
Let's hardcore and raw is just
Good.
Yeah.
So
just taking
trance. Trance is blowing up at the moment. Like Atlantis and Transmission and
Marlowe sold
Marlowe
out.
and
Shoot.
Polygon and small little parties everywhere.
see, this is where I disagree. The big trance events for sure doing really well.
Yeah.
The grassroots is not.
Nah.
I think there's 140 events put on by Tonto that happens. I think it happens out of Bondi, or it used to. That's the only sort of smaller trance event that's on my radar, and it's far cry from the voodoo days at home nightclub.
Never get that back. That's gone. Just like King's Cross.
Yeah.
When you say voodoo days to me, I was going to Sublime when it was on Pitt Street.
Yeah, like.
And they had the back little room with. Sorry, but I know what you're talking about.
All right, Grandpa.
No, yeah, but I totally know where you're coming from.
All right, Dee's here to watch the interview.
Yep.
Shall we?
Yeah, get amongst it.
This is a cool little interview. This is my first real go at editing videos. So for the people at home, like stick with it. I think I did okay. It goes for 12 minutes. Strap yourselves in. Here we go. No. Someone said that there's no audio, and I needed to restart it.
Oh, righto. That's all good.
But I don't know why.
Nat's calling me.
No, we've got it. It's fine.
Yeah.
And also the audio and the everything went out of sync. So we're gonna try it again. We'll just
Yeah, we know. He's trying to fix it.
What are you doing on the phone? Who are you calling?
No, it was Nat. She was. Sorry.
All right.
First time caller.
First time call, long time listener. First time caller.
Is the audio back on?
Well, our audio's on, I think. Can people hear us?
Not if you can hear us.
Hang on, maybe I'll just hang on.
Did you try turning it on?
You work in IT.
Yeah, right. So funny. Funny how many times it fixes it though.
Well, this is awkward, isn't it?
I'll break this as well.
Hey,
Broke the gold stage, broke black stage now.
just breaking it. It's weird because it's coming through on our computer. But okay, we're just gonna try it again, and we're just gonna see what happens, I guess.
See you in the NT.
Oh, hang on, hang on. I might be able to fix this.
We got Holly calling. I think everybody's calling to let us know. Yep, we know.
Yeah, but sound's working now. It's fine. Like our sound.
Our
is working
sound,
fine. All right, we're gonna try this interview with Regain again. We'll cross our fingers. Guess who's a dickhead?
Oh,
Yes.
right. Sorry. Oh, he's talking about you.
Oh, what a douchebag.
Go on.
I tell you what, we're gonna do it one more time. Only this time, I'll put the sound on. Yeah. Well.
We're just playing with you. He knew what was going on.
I didn't. If I'm gonna.
I'm trying to save you, mate. Fire.
All right. No, I've just figured it out. All right. All right. Take 3.
Yeah, I can answer in Polish, so I can translate it later.
Yeah, we just put subtitles in them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm
Good to go? Alright. Hey guys, fourth letter MCT here, and I'm joined by the one and only, the legend of Raw Style, the one and only Regain.
Hello.
Firstly, welcome to Sydney, mate. Your Australian tour kicked off with shows in Melbourne and Brisbane last night. How were they?
Yeah, it was very good. Like, show in Melbourne was sold out. The crowd was perfect. Brisbane was a little bit smaller, but it was very cozy and nice with a lot of crazy people. Very nice organization. I think Brisbane is growing a lot with Raw Style. Same with Melbourne, you know. I played there like 2 or 3 years ago. It was a nice small party, and this time there was like a few hundred people. So you see that scene in Australia is growing, and you have a really, really good crowd. So take care of this crowd. Don't spoil them, you know. Just work with them. Listen what they want. Listen their wishes, and it's going to be very, very good future. It's already very good here, you know. But you are still working on it, and I'm very happy that I can be, you know, a part of the artists who can also show this music to these people. And I think they are just happy that they don't really have to fly to the Netherlands or just to Europe to experience some good artists. So the scene is very good here. I mean, Australian people shouldn't really complain if they want to, because it's already perfect.
What do you think about the difference between then and now, how raw style is going in Australia?
It's definitely growing here, but raw style and hardstyle in general changes very fast. You know, like 3 years ago it was way different than 2 years ago. 2 years ago was way different than 1 year ago. And now it's different. Like back then, there was very, like typical raw style in the face. Now it's more like a little bit melodic stuff coming back, and I really like it. I think, to be honest, everything comes a little bit later to Australia because first trend starts in the Netherlands and then it comes here. But still, they are hungry for these really good raw acts. You know, they are hungry of it because this music is really in the face. They want to experience it here, and compared to like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, it's way better. It's really growing, and I think there is still a lot of people who are working really well on the new concepts and new parties to make it big. You know, so it's definitely on the right way, in my opinion.
What's up, Sydney? You guys ready for the boys, motherfucking bouncer? Put your fucking hands up in the air and make some noise for Unhinged! Push it to the limit! Push it to the limit! Push it to the limit!
Just to touch on what you said before in terms of not spoiling it though, I think the internet has had a major impact when it comes to hardstyle in general, because like you said, Australia was a bit later when it came to getting things over here.
Yeah.
But I think with the internet, with things going on social media and Facebook and things like that, I think it's sort of shortened that gap to a point where anything, like say you put up something online, a day later it just blows up in Australia, and then people across the world have seen what you've done in a year.
Yeah, true.
What is it? I guess the impact for you is that do you feel that anything you do sort of gets smashed out? As in, if you do something in Europe, it's already been seen here. So by the time you get out, people sort of kind of expect it. Do you feel that, or do you feel that? I guess the question is the impact of the internet in terms of and social media in terms of hardstyle being able to whatever you do in Europe is basically in Australia the next day.
Yeah, you know, it depends. I think it depends because sometimes people, let's say, like to complain, you know, and they complain a lot about this artist or this artist, and in the end, the crowd still loves this music, you know. So it's like I don't know how to say it, you know. I mean, like internet and the real life are like two different things. You know what I mean? So people love to say things online, and most of the time these people aren't even a part of the parties.
Yeah, they're not even at the event.
Exactly, they just like to say something, and I think the crowd who is at each party decides what they love or what they don't like. You know, I think it's very hard, to be honest, to spoil Australian crowd because. You really work hard to get European artists here, and it would be a little bit stupid, you know, if people will be like, oh my god, again reggae in Australia, it's the second time, you know, or third time, blah, blah, blah. No, they still appreciate it. Why? Because they don't have it every weekend here, you know, not that much, because there's also a difference between the locals and also someone international, you know. So. Of course, I'm jumping through one topic to another one.
It's great, please.
But that's how it works. So I think like the internet, there is some people who are talking a lot. Of course, also positive things. But in the end, crowd decides what they like. There is not a huge gap, you know, between Europe and Australia because. You still see that if you book the artists from Europe, they know every track, you know, they know everything. So it's not always like everything comes later, you know. It's not always like that. They still follow the scene because they are part of it, no matter where you live. If you are into this music, you are just up to date about everything, you know. And I'm very happy that they appreciate the fact that if you book someone in Australia, they just love it, you know. So it's like that.
That's awesome, man. So today you've got ESI and Massive in Sydney, and a lot of us. I mean, you just smashed ESI, and
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
how was it?
No, it was perfect. Really, like the crowd here is very sick, you know. I don't want to compare them to Dutch crowd or something like that because every crowd is specific.
But if you were to, I mean, like for me, I love the energy that Raw brings, and especially someone like you, guys like Delete, like with this energy that is just. I mean, in hardstyle it's there, but it's just this raw, driving, powerful energy that to see. For me, as a performer and somebody who's got to see, it kind of brings you up. And I guess as a DJ, it would be the same for you because it will drive you.
Yeah, you know, it's like that's my third show in Australia during this tour, and Melbourne, Brisbane, and Sydney. All these parties were very energetic with very dedicated people, you know. So it means a lot. Like. It's not a matter what kind of music I produce, to be honest. It depends how they receive this energy, you know, because I receive this energy from them. Sometimes. Like sometimes you just play for the people and they don't care, you know. Sometimes you just play the same set, for example here, and they love it. So this energy, that's what DJ also wants to have during the performance, you know. Because as I said, it's not only a matter of music, but the vibe in general, you know. And they really know how to go crazy. You know, every kick, every sound, you know, every melody,
every kick roll,
hands up, every kick roll, they know it, you know. It means they are not spoiled, and it's very good, you know. That's why I said before, like, don't spoil them because you are on very right way. And I very love the energy here. I love to play here, and just because these people know why they are here, and they feel it.
Yeah, and they're here for you as well. Like, I mean, I guess other festivals, like you're competing with about 20, 30 other names, but they're there.
Yeah.
I mean, tours like this, they're here for you, and they love your sound, and they appreciate that. I know we're short on time, but I've got one more question. And it's going to be like, I want to say congratulations to you on your album.
Oh, thank you, bro.
It's an amazing album.
Thank you.
But I need to ask this: what is your favorite track off Out of Bounds? And I know it's a hard question, but
it's not because I have my favorite.
Really? What is it?
Indicate.
Yeah?
I really love it. I don't know why. Probably because it's faster. It has some. You know, I had kind of idea behind this track, you know, and I really realized this idea. That's why I love this track. And it was something. It was like breaking point during the whole process of producing this album.
Yeah.
That's why I like this track, you know, a lot. That's my favorite one. I like to play it.
What was the concept behind Out of Bounds?
You know, I was working hard on the raw kick to have it sound perfect in a little bit faster tempo. And the track is at 165. I still have like 3 kicks in this track, but I mean, the first kick was the kick where I really worked hard on. And in my opinion, I did it really well, and I like it. So that's why it's my favorite track. It's really in the face. It's really energetic with a lot of drive and power, and of course there's also a crowd reaction, swing, blah 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 blah. But this one is my and I like it, you know.
Awesome. Thank you very much, man. What can we say? Welcome
Thanks,
back.
bro. Thank you.
If you want to say something to all the Aussie fans on the tour.
Thank you very much that I can be a part of this club, you know, this edition. You could always book someone else, but you booked me, so I'm very happy about it. I'm very happy that we can go crazy together. I'm still before playing the second set of the night.
Which they don't know yet, but they do now.
Yes, yes. And thank you very much for your dedication. It's sold out, and it also means a lot, you know, because I'm pretty far away from home, and it's just a good life to know that I have some fans really far away from Poland, you know. So thank you very much. I hope it's not the last time where I play here for you, and thank you very much for your dedication. I very appreciate it. Mwah. Thank you.
Well, holy wow.
That was
Ooh,
awesome.
What's going on with my head?
That was a question that was asked a long time ago.
Question.
That was a loaded question.
Hang on, let me just fix my... Actually, I kind of like being all blurred out there.
Oh, look at that. He's got the lenses on. He's had a big night out.
There we go. Hang on. There we go. We're all sorts of technical difficulties here in the studio. I'm going to put, for those watching at home, I'm going to put a link to Ticket Boost. This is to the next ESI event, which is called...
All Stars.
All Stars?
All Stars, yeah.
We've just done a check. There is literally only 50 tickets left.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
What a good problem to have for you.
Oh, yeah. Got 50 far out.
We were having a chat about promoting during that interview, and if and I was saying, and I'll paraphrase and maybe change some words. If I ever put on an event and I could say the words, "There's 50 tickets left," I would be a very happy person. It's got to feel good.
It does.
It's like I
Because
couldn't
it
even
just-
imagine.
For me, it just powers more parties. You know what I mean? Like, it just means that I can continue doing what I love doing, which is blowing minds. Like, I just want to make lots of people happy, and it's the only way I know how. Like,
It's weird, isn't it?
yeah.
And like, I've always said when it comes to parties, like my payment is smiles. Like money's good.
Yeah, I know. Money can't get you a large Big Mac meal at Macca's, can it?
Definitely can't. Sometimes either can put parties on.
That's what he's saying. The guy, and he's got, you can pick it up for free and he flips around for $4. That's a he's a promoter.
Yeah.
But well done.
Yeah, nah. And the shots there are freaking epic.
Yeah, they're dedicated. They're there for a reason. Like, they're there because they want to hear the album. They're there because they want to see Regain. They know the tracks. They know the vocals. They know the kick rolls. They know everything. It's a crazy vibe. It's a really cool environment.
Yeah, and big ups to D, who's still in the chats there for doing that interview. Like, totally on the fly.
It's not, and that's the thing. It's not easy to conduct any, especially like people.
Especially
think,
if you don't really know them.
Yeah.
Like I've done a few interviews here. Won't mention any names. DNA. Who unfortunately sometimes some people just clam up, and it gets awkward. But like Regain there seems really lovely.
And for English to be his second language, that's really impressive too.
Yeah,
Like,
but yeah, and I always thought he was Dutch, but he's Polish.
He's Polish, yeah. Yep.
Weird. And I don't know why. Like, that's weird to me, but like Poland isn't really a country that springs to mind when I think who's like one of the biggest DJs on the planet. Oh, that guy from Poland. Generally doesn't spring up. But that's crazy. Crazy cool. Hey, we were talking about lock. Were you watching the show at all before on your drive in?
No, I couldn't.
You're one of
Because I
those.
don't want to get fined.
Yeah,
for having my phone anywhere near my face, hands, body, leg, foot, toe.
It's weird. That makes sense.
Oh man.
Yes, I like my license.
We were talking briefly about lockout laws.
Yeah.
And how the inquiry is underway, obviously, and hearing submissions from all sorts of people. It's been quite fascinating, and there seems to be some like light at the end of the tunnel for lockout
So we
laws.
hope.
What would that mean for you guys if? Does that, because your next one's in the city, isn't it?
Yeah, it's at Universal.
Which
It's
is
on
in the
Oxford Street.
lockout zone, which previously you've not had to really worry about.
Yeah. I was only just talking to Shane about this today. We had dinner tonight previously, and I was talking about, like back in the Back in the old days. I can't believe I'm saying this.
Back in the old days, back when I was a kid.
Back when we used to go into 3D, there would be like 5-6 parties on every weekend because there was just venues everywhere and everyone's willing to give you a chance and everyone's just wanting to get people into their venues. But now it's to the point where I was looking for a venue because Manning decided to go in a different direction and don't want to do dance parties there anymore. So they've pretty much cut they're just not doing it. I think they're just focusing on bands.
Yep.
I was running around because I already had this show locked in. I already had these artists on my list and I had no venue. And it was actually like mind bending how hard it was to find a venue.
Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
It was actually just lucky that I got Universal like super last minute. They came back and went, yeah, you can have it. These are the conditions. Done.
Yeah, they're pretty good. It's Universal Hotel Group. They've got the Civic and a few other venues around.
But I think like I don't think it's just the lockout laws that are affecting it. I think it's the stigma that we have in this scene and the sort of like underlying effects of that are with the management of the venues.
Yeah.
People just don't want to take a chance on hard dance now. It's
Any
actually really
dance sort
hard.
of music.
Yeah. There's multiple venues that I've approached, and I'm like, I'm selling out parties. Like, we have a track record of clean parties, not having issues, no graffiti, no fights, no bullshit.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, no, we don't do hard dance.
Yeah, it's
or UFC.
I found the bar. Like, do you find
Did you just say UFC?
Yeah, that was actually thrown into the email. It's like, we don't do hard dance or UFC. And I'm like, yeah, because everyone wants to just get on the
Hang
bullshit
on.
and go to
Hang
UFC.
on, what UFC events are going around? No, I would be keen just to go. Just out of the loop of what?
Sorry, it was actually, it's really weird.
But we found also, like, I think what was really surprising to me, and it was real telltale, we were looking in venues back in the, like, before the lockout laws came in, and the bar tabs are, like, quite excessive. 4 times the amount of what they are now.
Yeah.
And you're not even hitting that. Like, I remember one of the events we were doing, we had the bar tab wasn't that great. And in the end, we were going to have to make the difference up.
Yep.
And I just turned to Dave and I'm like, we're going to have to give it to him, so why don't we just go buy shots for everybody?
Yeah.
And I said to the bar guy, I'm like, how much do you need to make? He goes, I need to spend another $600. So I went to the till. Who wants a drink? You know, I mean, it just shows, like, what you'd probably find that. Like
well, you wouldn't have to worry about that at the moment.
What's that?
Selling out parties over here and shit. But man, that's clearly going to be a tough one to get that last 50 tickets over the line.
So white.
It's it's because you've got that light there.
Fake tan on. That's crazy town. No wonder people are flashing me in the car. They're like flashing their lights. Like, fucking blinding us, mate. Cover yourself up. Holy shit. Cool.
I was going to say something, but I forgot.
My bad.
It's weird, venues, in the current climate when, like, it's not like I said, it used to be like 7 or 8 parties going on every weekend.
Easy.
What's going on with these venues can pick and choose what kind of genre of music gets played? Like, is it because there isn't many left and they know it, or is it because like
they hold the draw for us? Like, they know that we don't have a choice to go anywhere else.
Well, hopefully when the lockout laws get abolished, and they will. Let's be honest, they will. It's
in the government's best interest to do it because they'll make more money.
Well, it is. It's all about what is the state of Sydney once that happens? Because is it repairable? Can we come back from it? And what other restrictions will be like? The government,
it's going to take a lot.
The government never gives you something back. If they give you something back, they're going to take with the other hand in some way, shape, or form. They're okay, you can stay open till 5 o'clock, but everyone needs to be breath tested to walk in or something crazy. Like,
didn't they say though that if they did abolish them, they were only going to do it for the CBD and King's Cross and Oxford Street would still be included in the lockouts? Isn't that
what the fuck's up?
Yeah, I swear I read that somewhere.
It's not even.
Yeah, I'm like, the only reason they're doing it because of trams.
Yeah, it'd be like this.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we're just going to redraw the lockout zone, and anywhere that doesn't actually have anywhere to go into is now exempt. They can have entry to 5 o'clock in the morning if they want to, because there's nowhere to go. But the only places with some clubs still left, no, you still get. If they do that, I'll be a one-man riot.
Someone needs to make a meme of Simba and his dad. It's like everywhere the light reaches is lockout laws.
What about that area over there, Dad? That's the casino.
Did somebody make a meme about that?
I'm sure it has.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's gold.
Yeah.
You know what the mentality is though? It's like being at school and one kid's being a dickhead. You're all staying in.
Yeah.
Well, why the hell are we going to stay in? Because I'm that kid that's in the classroom going, ah. But it's not about that. They should have been. It shouldn't have been a blanket.
Yeah.
You're all.
No doubt.
Because like the amount of money they're losing as well. For them, I don't know. Anyway, but. It should have been a reward or a punish system.
Yeah.
If you've done the wrong thing, you get banned.
Yeah, listen.
If you're not doing the wrong thing, you don't get penalised in any way, shape, or form. You continue having your good time.
I'm sure the monetary thing really isn't something the government is going to factor into their decision, because like even though the nighttime economy is like $16 billion in the red. Like the casino's profits are pretty much $16 billion the other way. So the government's like, hey, we're getting money anyway. Like it's
very true. They got the Crown coming up as well. So once that's done as well, what's going to happen there?
Isn't the high rollers room already up?
I'm not really sure. Like,
it's still,
Mr. Packer's in a bit of trouble at the moment. So.
Is he involved still?
He has sold, I think, majority of his shares.
Yeah,
like Crown Casino in general is in a bit of strife. I don't know if anyone's seen that 60
Yes.
Minutes report. Hey, another thing that happened over the last little week or so, and I'm probably going to touch on this in the Unhinged news, is Art of Dance and Q Dance. Are you across this?
No, I'm not. I should be.
Q Dance have bought half of Art of Dance.
Interesting.
Yeah. Someone sent me a link to a Netherlands website, and I'm like, it's all in Dutch. And I'm like,
Google Translate.
I'm like,
Translate.
right. There's an English button that took me a day and a half to find. Like,
They normally do.
I didn't want to reply back and just be like, it's in Dutch, because I didn't want to, in case like there was some easy fix, and now I've just said it on the show, which I'm still look like an idiot, but like, I'm like, eventually I'm like, click this button, I'm like, oh, it does come in English. Oh, sweet. Oh, that makes a lot more sense now. I didn't actually read the article because I spent all that time trying to discover how to but yeah, you're not across that, so that,
No, not yet. No,
Are
I'll
you
add
gonna,
that to my
you gonna
list.
fill us in or?
no, I haven't read it. I'll
okay.
research it for the news. I was just
yeah.
hoping you could probably do it for me. I thought you'd be across it. Don't worry about it.
Super fresh.
That's your homework.
Yeah.
Full report next week.
It's really not. Like after he leaves here, all he's got to worry about is selling 50 tickets.
Oh dear.
Maybe.
Other than getting home.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get awkward.
All right.
Yes, I love awkward
Is
silences.
it after hours? Is it?
No, I was
Soul.
I was really banking on Jono knowing more about the Art of Dance stuff.
So we've got to fill like 15 minutes now.
Well, listen, we haven't. This show's completely been off the cuff so far. So
It's just-
there's been no segments.
Wing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few people are trying to call into the mobile phone here for. Well, I've got a phone here for Unhinged, right? I'm not going to answer it, so everyone can just give up on that idea.
First time.
Hey,
Long time listener, first time caller.
like I only did the call things for the first time
To try
last
it
week.
out.
Yeah, and it was such a schmozzle. I'll tell you what was happening, because I started to tell you earlier on in the show, but I never sort of let everyone else know. So like, right now I've got the headphones on, so whatever you say in the microphone I can hear, and when someone calls through, it goes through this little doo-whack all over underneath me here, and it comes through, but it comes through like a lot quieter. And Jared was here, and of course he didn't have any headphones, so he didn't know what the caller was trying to say.
Oh,
so
yeah.
all I could only snippets, and then he'd talk, or Natalie would talk,
And it'd come through
and
their
it would go over the top of whatever the person was saying in my head. And I'm like, if I could have that time again, I just would have turned their microphones off, which totally makes sense.
Have you ever had that when you're at an event and you're trying to DJ and the MC's coming through your headphones and it's like...
No, it pisses me right off. It's pretty rare that happens nowadays, but that is very annoying.
This happened so much and it was like...
But like, yeah, so if I had my time again, I'd just turn their microphones off. I just panicked. I'm like, I'm trying to listen. I'm like, Jared, shut up. And then I'm like, I can't really tell Jared to shut up because he doesn't know why he's shutting up. And so then he'd not talk and he'd just sit in silence and he's almost like got ants in his pants and he's like, I need to say something. And so I said, I heard Damien or Damo.
Yeah. And then
as soon as he heard it, he was like, Damo! Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I can't hear this person.
Restrain yourself, Damo.
Yeah. and of course, because we all thought it was you, we just like started ragging on you.
I know, because I heard. I saw that part of the clip.
And then I found out it wasn't even you. And then someone was like, no, not that Damo. And then I started feeling really bad. And I'm like, I'm just going to hang up. But we are going to do I told D and Dave to bring headphones in so then we could do the phone talking.
Yep.
And then neither of them.
Both cancelled. I didn't get the memo about the headphones.
Yeah, because I thought you were in the group chat and
You're probably trying to figure out why I'm sending you alternate messages going...
no, I miss a lot of messages. So
Yeah.
I'm a popular guy.
You are.
What can I say? Actually, speaking of promoting and messages, this is a new one. I've never had this before. Where I don't know why I'm getting a lot of friend requests lately.
Yes, yeah.
I don't think it's because of this. There just seems to be like a lot of them.
Seems to be an influx.
Yeah, almost like a lot of. But they're real. They're
You've
real
got, like,
people.
50 mutual friends and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and you've got rave related stuff in there. That's like my draw list. I'm like,
Oh, really?
yeah. So I have like a little, like I'll check their profile and if
Oh, yeah.
they're like rave related and we've got heaps of mixed friends, and I'll be like, oh, okay, it might be like an upcoming DJ or something, and then I'll add them.
So here's my checklist, my profile checklist. I need to be able to see your photos. If I can't see your photos or your face, don't give a shit.
Oh, you've already told me this one, yeah.
Right? Because you know when you go in and I understand people want a lot of security. Stop chewing on that bottle. It looks
I'm not
weird.
sure. I'm
It's like you're on camera. I'm like, I'm just doing this for you. Like you can do it if you want. But yeah, I need to be able to see. I need to be able to see a face so that I can. But if it's like a picture of like a car and that's all I can see, well, you're not really giving me a lot to go on here. And if you go through the profile and all you can see is like posts from like when they clearly first started the page and it says like their birthday or whatever,
Like
and I'm just like,
1984,
no. And my other thing is, if our mutual friends are only DJs,
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
How do I know you?
yeah.
And it's not being rude. Like I used to get. You know,
It's
like,
not.
You just want to know.
And then sometimes I'll be feeling adventurous, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna accept it, and then I'm gonna go through your profile, and if I don't like it, then I'll just delete.
Just gonna block you.
Delete them as a friend, and I nearly 100% of the time go through their profile, get distracted, and that's where it is. And then all of a sudden, I'll just start getting really random comments on like really random posts, and I'm like, then I'll go through. I'm like, oh yeah, it's late.
You're going through your news feed and you'll just see like a block of text, and you're like,
yeah.
ooh.
Or you get the random tags in like stuff that has literally nothing to do with you at all. But
True.
yeah,
It's
it's
probably
weird.
me doing that.
Hey,
I'm that bloke. No, not really. No, I don't.
well, I was thinking about like at one stage when in the concept stages of this show, like there was a few ideas that I was playing around with, and one was going to be like prank call a DJ.
Oh yes!
Where we'd get like a DJ's phone number and just really randomly just call them
Pretend like you're calling from overseas. You want to book it?
and just fuck with them. And then I started to realize how much trouble that could get me in.
Yeah, but like how many viewers you get.
Yeah.
I'd watch that shit.
So I've got this.
If you're doing it, like, yeah.
I've got this app on my phone called Prank Call. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
So what it does, and like it's free. Like
I'm intrigued.
It calls people, and you choose like a script that it has preloaded.
Right, yeah.
Really?
And what it does is it calls them and it'll be like, Damo, hello. And it'll be like, you'd be like, hello.
Yeah,
And
hello.
he, like, I've just got your pizza here and I just need to confirm what your house number is. And then naturally the next person goes, I didn't order any pizza. And like, it sort of guesses what your response is going to be. And I did it to my dad. And I gave him the...
no.
I gave him the pizza one. And and what the app does is once it finishes the call, it's recorded and then it sends you a copy of it so you can listen to it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
What's it called? Prank call.
it's a joke call. I'll show it to you after the show. Anyway, my dad does not appreciate an unsolicited phone call.
No.
Was it worth it? It was worth it.
For me, like, so worth it. But would I do it live on a live stream? Fuck no. Because he's like, jokes phone. And it gives you like, it only gives you like 4 free calls, but if you don't use it for long enough, they just bank up.
Does
Like,
anybody have Dave's number?
yeah. Anyway, so I thought about doing that, and after like my dad's response when he basically told the pizza delivery driver that he might die that night. What? It got pretty heated.
I thought you meant your dad was saying he might die.
Oh no! No, the pizza's guy's life was definitely a risk.
Fake pizza guy.
I'm like, hey, maybe that's not such a good idea.
I need to listen to this.
Yeah, no, we'll do something later. Actually, maybe we'll do. Actually, now this is an idea. We'll do it to DJs. We'll do this prank call thing, and then we'll filter them out. Which ones are like funny, and which ones. I probably shouldn't have actually said that on the show.
How many calls are you going to get now?
Hey,
It might be.
well, the phone call doesn't come from your number.
No, right.
This is like I don't know what I don't.
But who answers numbers that they don't know?
My dad.
Old school.
Actually, yeah, I've done it to a few people. It's hilarious, but it also can upset people.
I think it's awesome.
It's great.
Like-
It's so good. And there's so many. There's ones like where it's like a real estate agent, and it's they're like, listen, we've had reports from your neighbours that the smell of marijuana's been coming out from your house. Like, there's ones about parking fines, and the ATO rings up, chasing a tax bill. It's there. Yeah, that actually will be pretty funny.
So you're the one that's been creating national instant with people going, I'm getting phone calls from the ATO. Oh yeah, I've had those too. It's just Caleb. It's not some overseas dodgy scammer.
He doesn't want your money. He just wants a laugh.
Talk to the robot. Make me laugh.
That's awesome.
Yeah, cool. Anyway, well, that was a bit of a tangent.
Yeah, it was.
I really feel like Joe Rogan right now.
Oh yeah. I love it. Jeez.
Like he is just a mate. Like like Scat Chat's kind of loosely based around his, because I watch his podcast a lot.
Yeah.
And like, if you ever watch the very start of a Joe Rogan podcast, and the guest comes on, they're like, "What are we going to talk about?" He goes, "I don't know."
No, yeah.
I'm just like, that guy's got balls.
He's just really smart. Like he's just really. His conversation is so intelligent.
He's got a lot of world knowledge going
He
on.
does.
Let's bring this back to music in some way. What else is coming up? Can you give us a?
So we've got a brand new venue coming up next year, which we've locked in for 3 events, which we had.
Oh,
to
so
do
then the
a
one
year in
after the
advance.
next one's not going to be at Universal.
No.
Oh, exciting.
No.
Okay.
So we're.
He got the venue before he got the party.
Yeah.
Do the
I
right
made sure
way.
this time.
That's probably the right way to go about it too. When
Yeah.
you think about it, lock in the venue, then lock in the party.
Yeah. It's just, I suppose it's kind of like a wait and see thing at the moment. Like there's a lot of big parties coming up. I want to kind of gauge what happens. Like we haven't had a really big event at Homebush for a while since Midnight Mafia, and then Festival X is coming up.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting.
I think HSU are going to be doing less events at Sydney Olympic Park.
Can't.
HTID, by the way, I've been told is rock solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's some good news for the UK hardcore people. That is because there was a lot of fear with that when HSU released their schedule, and
They
And
didn't they did do HID very well.
Yeah, they did.
Like the HSU production is just.
But they released their schedule. People started messaging me like, "There's no HDID on it," and I'm like, "I know." And like, I messaged a few people. I'm like, "There's no HDID on it," and they're like, "Because it only goes to December, dickhead."
Yeah, it's in
and,
January.
and HDID's in January. I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
Always on the long weekend.
So yeah, that's rock solid. But yeah, I think there's
They're doing a festival in Melbourne, aren't they? Or is it in Sydney?
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
right.
Melbourne.
thinking about heading down for that. Like, I am Victorian originally.
Mate, got to do it.
I haven't been out in Melbourne in a long time though.
So
Oh, yeah?
cool down there.
No. Hey,
So cool down
did
there.
you play down there recently?
I
feel like you did.
Yeah. So
For
I
like
played at
PhD, yeah.
PhD in February with Delete.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that's
insane.
And I think it was just after that for Surge.
Yeah, that's right. That's the last.
Sammy did a party down there, the principal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they still shuffle down there?
Yeah, they do. Even to Raw. It's crazy. I'm like, how are you doing this? What sort of witchcraft is this? Can they pull it off?
Yeah, no, they do. Hey, they call it the Melbourne Shuffle for nothing, mate.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I'd be pretty upset if the Melbourneites decided, maybe this shuffle business ain't for us anymore. We'll do that. I remember the first time I went to Massive,
Oh yeah.
and I was freaked out. Like, I know we talked about earlier about me walking into a gay club for the first time. We covered that, and I'm like, I was freaked out then.
Yeah.
That was nothing in comparison to the first time I went to Massive.
What was that though?
Because I'm Victorian, so like I'm a shuffler. I was before I started putting some kilos on. And I walked into Massive, and everyone was in a line doing a dance, like in lines along the dance floor,
dancing, yeah.
doing a dance I'd never seen before. I'd
Were they
never.
harking or?
No, hacking, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I'd never even seen a hack before because I don't know. I was in my own little bubble down there in Victoria. And I come up and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Really freaked me
I
out.
remember the first time I saw it, I was like, somebody was doing a chicken dance. I'm like, flap my wings so hard, I'm like, like,
But
I
like-
couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Seeing one person, yeah, that's kind of weird. But like, I was in a club full of people doing it, and I like, no judgment. I just didn't understand what was happening.
No.
Like, I was almost like, you know, when like you think of Encino Man, the movie. Like, I felt like I'd been frozen and thawed out like 100 years in the future. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
It was really different back in the day. You had the Melbourne Shuffle, the Sydney Stomp, and you had the Brisbane Spin. You go on the dance floor, you go to Brisbane, and you take your life in your hands when you go, because people are jumping and doing like spin flips, and you're like, look, this is on the dance floor.
The Brisbane Spin.
Hey, do they do that?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
None of us
The
are that
Brisbane
old.
Spin, the Melbourne Shuffle. I think Melbourne was the safest place because they just got talcum powder on the floor and it's like sliding all
Yeah,
over
but
the place. You're not gonna
that
get
had its own problems. Actually, one of the rehabs we put on, a bunch of shufflers came in with talcum powder, and like I could smell it, and so just all the memories started flooding back. And I'm like, what's going on over here? You guys got talcum powder, and then security came and like with a mop.
Oh no!
And I'm like, no shit, you not. Cleared the dance floor, told people to move away, mopped up all the talcum powder, and then went looking for the person with the talcum powder. I'm just like, calm down, bro. Calm
I
down.
didn't think it was talcum powder.
So I was. that would be the most expensive floor lubricant. But it made me think. I actually thought about maybe I'll actually for a rehab cordon off an area and be like talcum powder away.
No drinks beyond this
Find
point.
that wet spot.
We don't want glue.
I don't even think talcum powder would work on dance floors in Sydney nowadays. Like it'd just be like less sticky,
I remember,
Yeah.
but still sticky.
remember Gas nightclub.
Yes.
Rod Richards.
You didn't need talcum
presents-
powder down there. You just slip ass over tip down those stairs every time.
Get this, he brought out Ultrasonic and he did like an Anthem Aladdin type party.
Yeah.
And I walked in and he covered the floor in talcum powder. I was like, dude.
What a
that's-
legend.
That's sick. I was like, that is sick. So you could just shuffle away. It was like taking it back to the old school.
Yeah.
I think that was the first set of stairs that I stuck it down. They were slippery stairs.
Yeah, I never went to Gas because I didn't live in Sydney then. But like everyone talks about Gas, like, and I kind of say to myself, maybe it's just really good in people's memories, and that's what I say to myself to make me.
It was like, and you know what? Probably one of the best clubs to play on their sound system, on their system too.
Yeah.
Like they had, anybody who played there would tell you at the time it was
Did you go to 170 last weekend?
no. Sorry, James. Now,
So that was the first time I'd been in the Civic since
Oh shit, I haven't been down there since HSU was there.
for like 4 or 5 years was the last time I went to Civic, because Civic went all internal promotion and not letting external promoters to go in, so I had no reason to go there.
Made it real hard for people to hire it. I think
Really
wanted,
hard.
I think when I inquired like 6-7 years ago, they wanted like 25 grand on the bar.
Oh,
Or
no,
something
no.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it
the
was
lockout laws would have been in
super
place
crazy.
then, weren't they?
No.
Oh, it was
weren't.
before lockout laws.
That was when you could start at like 8 o'clock and go until 8 o'clock.
O'clock in the morning. And then you go on to your
Good times.
day clubs.
It's definitely not that now.
No.
But that I always loved it for their sound system because it is banging.
Have they renovated or is it still the same?
So I was expecting like because I recall they moved the DJ box down to the floor bit, and then that's not true. There's still a stage. It's the bar's moved.
Oh, is it? Where's the bar now?
So when you walk down in the Civic Underground, the bar was always on the left hand side.
On the left, yeah.
Now it's like directly on your right.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's right at the
Grids
back of
used
the
to
room,
be.
just
Is
to
that
open
the-
the room up a bit.
Yeah, right. Cool.
But the sound system is
Is it
still
opened up the
banging.
place, though?
Hey,
Is it opened it up?
not really. It's actually smaller than I remember it. But,
But it's still got the dip in the middle of
Yeah,
the,
that-
the balcony around.
so instead of like the square sunken dance floor,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the square sunken dance floor's there, but there's this long ramp that goes all the way up, pretty much to
righto.
the bar. It's okay.
That's all right.
Sound system, and 170 pulled out like the laser light show of the smallest club I've ever seen. Like
That's sick.
it was amazing.
That's
and
so
like,
good.
I was having a chat to Alfie about it, and like this, there's been a shift I think in the smaller parties, like because you got to step it up now, like you have to. And they were like, listen, we don't want to put on some 2-bit party anymore. Like we're going all out, and like the laser show. Like I actually stopped Alfie at one because I could. I couldn't see a light guy, and so I stopped Alfie and I'm just like, are these lights on automatic? Because if these are on automatic, they are the most intuitive fucking lights I've ever seen. And he goes, no, we got a guy in to do all the light. I'm like, all right.
This new technology
Because
is
I'm like,
great.
every time there was a breakdown, all the lasers would go, boo. So I'm like, this is cool. Like, lighting systems have come a long way.
Some little midget runs out from underneath the door.
Well, there was someone behind the stage doing it all, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And he goes, yeah, we just want to start putting on, like, we want to up our game a bit. Yeah, maybe I should take note of that. Maybe I'll just, poor old candies. What?
I'm looking at the lighting and
Oh, yeah, I've got some lights here. They just go in automatic, though. Like, nothing like 170. It was a good party anyway.
Good little venue.
It is.
Yeah, it really is.
And conveniently placed.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
yeah,
Right next to the Goulburn Street car park.
it's nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Especially if you're driving, which I was on the weekend, which was great. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Oh, look, there's like Cole Jono. Oh, surprise.
where's Cole? Oh yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah,
I was so I have a little run sheet, and in that bit I just wrote call Jono, and that's when you said you were going to come in. I'm like, oh, that makes shit way easier.
What's this one about? Talk about that for a bit. It doesn't have anything next to it.
Okay, so because I only wrote this like 10 minutes before the show started, I just found like the last run sheet for a Scat Chat.
Yeah, right.
Just deleted some stuff, put some stuff in there. Like, there's all this stuff. There's nothing down there. I deleted it all. Yeah.
We really didn't go into the lockout laws too much.
Well, we didn't.
We sort of,
We segued.
segued.
That's all right. But yeah, I think we might wrap the show up,
I think it's,
and then we're going to do a little bit for the Patreon members. We'll pre-record that right after this show, so the people who are part of Patreon, you get your little exclusive content, bit of behind the scenes, and then we'll have a chat a little bit more with Jono. But at the 2-hour mark, I think that was a successful Scat Chat, considering like 10 minutes before it started, like there was two of us.
Yeah, I know. Oh man, that was like the whole thing. Just I was like, what's Caleb gonna do with me? For
Yeah.
so long?
Well, D was the first one to ring. Like, whenever you want to ring in sick to work, you got to be the first one.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, that's the number one rule. If you start at 8, you call in sick at 5:30 before anybody else has the option. Because if you're the last one to call in sick, you cop the wrath of like all the people before. Have you found that? I don't know. I never get sick days, so But so he got in first, and he's like, "Yeah, listen, I'm okay. I'll just I think he's got some big stuff coming up." And he goes, "I just want to rest." And I'm like, "Dude, that's fine. Don't bring your sickness here. I don't want it anyway."
Yeah.
And then you were gonna call in sick.
I mean, I wasn't
But
good
he
today.
didn't.
Hey, I'd been off the last 2 days.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I can't. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to call Caleb. And I'm like, he's already put the thing out. And I'm like, if I'm not feeling good, I'm just going to go home. And I suddenly miraculously picked up towards the afternoon. I wasn't feeling the best coming over here, but
It was the excitement.
oh mate,
Excitement about being on the show.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks
but-
for having me. It was like, yeah, we've been like Caleb and I sort of have random messages to each other, and then
They're pretty random.
yeah, they are. And he was like, "Oh, do you want to come on the show?" I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah. Like, yeah, we do have, like, we don't really have random messages. It's just like, Damo's calling.
He's in Holland at the moment.
What Damo am I about to get if I answer this phone? I'm just
It
gonna,
is. It's a flip of a coin.
I'm just gonna let it ring out, and then I'll send him a message, and we'll gauge it from there.
And then it comes with X, Y, Z, Y.
Yeah, if it's like that, it's like, yep, I'm busy. If it makes sense, I'm like, all right, let's call him back and let's roll the dice. I think one of the times when you're overseas, I was like,
DEFCON.
yeah, well, you weren't at DEF CON. You were like down the street. Like we'd already spoken a couple of times before.
Yeah.
And like I get this video call from him, and I'm like, I'm in my room. It's like time difference, so it's pitch black, and I'm like playing Xbox or something like that. And I'm like, looked at my phone, and Damo's calling. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna answer in case something's wrong, right? Just in case he's like, oh, bro, can't get a hold of anyone at home because it's ridiculous o'clock. No one's seen Dave. Just in case it's one of those. And I'm like,
Never one of those.
but my brain didn't process the whole time difference thing. So like turn the light on in my bedroom, answered the phone, and there's Damo. It's like bright sunlight. He's in the middle of the street. There's people all around him, and he's like, "G'day, Caleb, how you going?" And I'm like, "Oh, please don't anyone else look at the phone."
My sunglasses.
I was just expecting like this little conversation with Damo where he's like, "Oh man, I'll just sort of catch up with you because like I'm at the hotel room," but no,
I was out in the middle of the street.
I think you were on the way to DEF CON.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is just the most embarrassing phone call I think I've ever had.
No, it
Adventures.
was in his natural environment. This is Caleb in his natural environment.
Natalie's like, Damo is telling a story about something that happened with the people in the room.
I'm straining everybody in at. Everybody's getting strained.
Yes, Damo was like, Firelight was on fire. That's funny. He played at 170. It was weird. I was like, Firelight's playing at 170. That don't make any sense because he plays hardstyle. And I rocked up just as he started, and it was actually really good.
What was
Got
it?
some
Did he play
talent.
hardstyle?
He played like almost like sped up.
All right.
But it wasn't like he, plus 16 on the decks. Something that happened in production. It was a very hard.
Probably time stretch then maybe.
It was it was very like euphoric hard style, but at about 165 BPM, without it being hardcore like Gabba.
Yeah.
But he was like throwing in genres that didn't make it. Like there was a bit of trap bits, and it was really cool. And he used to just drop drum and bass in the middle of it. I'm just like.
I already like the guy.
There's nothing wrong with a cheeky drum and bass tune to slap in the middle of a set, that's for sure.
And it's at the same tempo too. It's
Yeah.
like 170 beats per minute drum bass.
Well, I've never mixed hardstyle and drum. Like you can do it with happy hardcore real easy.
Hardstyle is probably a little bit on the slower side, so it's probably not fitted.
I have a weird relationship with drum and bass.
Do you still talk to each other or?
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of listening to it. But I am a huge fan of mixing it. Like, mixing it is mad fun. You can chop it and change it. You can almost not fuck it up.
No.
You can. I get it.
You need to be able to beat match. I mean,
as long as you're beat match, you can pretty much toy around with the blending of the tracks like so much. It's mad fun.
Yeah.
But like, I just can't dance to it, and
you got to be listening to the right stuff, mate.
Yeah, no,
I've got to get you on a diet to work you into the really deep drum and bass. Like,
no, I like the up tempo-y type like.
You like the jump up stuff.
Yeah,
like
but
the party.
liquid drum and bass.
That's my jam, bro. Oh, okay. This
shouldn't exist.
Do you know what? I actually ran an event on Sundays called Liquid Sundays, and it was a liquid drum and bass event.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, if I know that's what I'm getting, I could probably like if I've gone to drum and bass events and I'm ready to get my get my hippie on.
Like this drum and bass is this conversation can go on till the end of time about the differences in it.
Yeah.
Like but I know what you're saying. It is the funnest stuff to mix.
So fun.
Yeah, it is.
The next rehab's gonna have a drum and bass DJ playing.
Yeah, right.
In the main room.
When's that?
It's a very good question. I don't know.
No.
I kind
Have
of
you picked your guy already, or have you picked?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah. I'll tell you after.
Yeah, right.
Maybe we'll talk about it on the show after the show, the after
All right,
hours.
cool. I'm keen.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to do a My House event.
That was good.
I'm digging some house music.
Cool.
But yeah, nothing locked in. I think after Hard Dance Icons, I wanted to have a break and concentrate on the show
fair.
and get this
man.
and get the YouTube channel up and going.
I know you do it. You got so many things like,
Yeah, it's hard.
and yeah.
It has its moments. I've nearly quit everything like so many times. Can you relate to that? So many times I'm like, I ring my girlfriend up and I'm like, that's it, done. Fuck this.
It's never done, mate.
It never is.
No, it never is.
And then, like the next day I'll be like, instead of it being done, I will have made even more decisions about doing even more things. And she's like,
It is the hardest thing to walk away
Caleb,
from.
you've gone the exact opposite direction. I'm like, yeah, I know. Anyway, I'll tell you what, let's wrap it up. So then we can do the after hours. So thank you, Jono, for coming in and filling in for
man.
basically two hosts. It was kind of fun to not have Dave, but I also kind of miss Dave.
Oh man, when you said Carlos is sick, I'm like, oh, and I'm like, well, Dave's,
Having a car accident.
We all know what Dave's like. And then when Dave wasn't here, I'm like, oh, Caleb, what are we gonna do?
Oh no, I was not stressed about doing the show just me and you.
Really?
But I was very happy when Jono said,
Oh man,
yeah.
it was because it's perfect.
No,
though.
we started to get real stale right when you walked in the door. It was perfect timing. No, but it's like I think we'll have both of you on a Scat Chat anytime. But I want you and Dave to be on a show together. If I'm gonna, I just want to see what happens.
Like I said, Dave's got the stories. He knows how to deliver them, and he's good. He's good at telling jokes. Sorry, everyone. I can tell you a joke, but it won't be funny.
Yep. Oh no, it was kind of funny. Hang on,
On that note, thanks for tuning in to Snapchat, and we'll catch you next week on Unhinged TV. What have we got on next week, Ken?
Next week is the kick on with Jared.
Hey.
So Joe's going to fill us in obviously on. He's done so many videos while he was over there. So
Oh man,
it's going to be mad. You're probably on a couple of them.
I don't know. Oh no, like he's probably got videos of like he just blew up over there.
Yeah, he's famous now. He's famous, more famous than all of us.
Yeah.
Dave. No, Jared. Oh, Jared, yeah. Oh no, I just went back to Dave's in for a second. Jared killed it overseas, like proper killed it.
Yeah.
He's and he's way too humble.
Yeah.
I'd be walking around like, did you know what I just did?
Jared probably has done that though. He probably has.
Just not to us.
Because he knows we don't give a
Probably
shit,
walking around Hard Island next to Joey Wright, but I'm the MC, mate.
the what is it, minus the crown, like buddy, he got in there and he was like, from not being billed to be put on every bill, without the promoters knowing you, that speaks volume for me.
Yeah.
Like that's huge.
He won't say it. He won't say it on air. But Villain kicked him off for Darren Styles' set, and
did he?
Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, I got this one," and I'm like, "Dude, punch him."
You're taller than him.
No,
It's fine.
Hang on, hear me out here. Hear me out. Like, I got nothing against Villain at all.
Nah.
But like, Jared's going to do this MCing at Hard Island, and like that's going to be great. And he's going to be remembered by the people who are at Hard Island as this great MC. And I'm like, if you want worldwide infamy, punch villain.
I'm so clear of that. Like,
You would be the most famous MC on the planet. If it gets filmed, think about it. Like, there's pros and cons to this situation.
Oh dear. I'm just going through all the scenarios in my
Right.
head.
Oh,
Like,
no.
holy shit.
I thought it was ingenious, and if I was there and if I'd had enough beers,
somebody has done that to an MC before, and it's quite a prominent DJ who did that to quite a prominent MC.
right,
because they were
in
being-
Australia,
No,
Right.
I was on the phone to this bloke back in the UK, and he's quite well known. And he told me how this guy was, I don't know. Anyway, he went along and
decked him.
served him. You have been served.
Well, he's done it wrong because I don't know about it, but I'm pretty sure if Riddle punched the shit out of Villain,
Mate,
he would be equally as famous as Villain. And on that note, we'll say goodbye. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in.
international incident caused right now.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to get more amazing content like you've seen over the past 2 hours. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.